Hello, everyone. My name is Reese Garlinsky, and I am the host of a young history podcast that covers history, and I cover geopolitics on YouTube and things like that. I've got my education in history, so I'm very passionate about a lot of clauses of international relations and all of that. Specifically, I've been very loud and vocal about Israel and the fact that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza and at least minimum committed a genocide in Gaza from 2023 until through 2025. You can say now things have slowed down, but I'm here today to talk about the U.S. involvement in Israeli politics recently and our involvement in Iran and all of that and how it connects back to Israel and why it is important. So I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'm not going to do yap for too long, but I need you to hear this. So I have 3 things to say, and we'll get through those, and then we'll move on. So my first point is that Israel is a killer of journalists. You are supporting this nation. Our country is supporting this nation that kills journalists. One of them, this man, who was a Palestinian journalist that once worked for NBC, which is an American company. Killing someone that works for an American journalist company or worked for them is a direct attack on the rights that we as Americans see as God-given rights. The rights to free press, the rights to freedom of speech. Since October of 2023, when the attacks happened in Israel, upped all of its retaliation against the entirety of Palestine for the actions of a terrorist group, Hamas, and all the innocents have been killed because of it. In that time, at least 200 different journalists have been killed by Israel, and it's been through direct strikes, airstrikes, drone strikes. There's been attacks by actual IDF soldiers. All of that. My sources are Al Jazeera. My sources are UNICEF, is the HWO, things like that have actually said this many people have been killed. And the range is high. It goes from as low as 200 to over 300. But it doesn't change the fact that Israel is targeting journalists, the people that tell the truth, the people whose whole job is to investigate things and say, the world should know about this. Silencing that means you're trying to silence something. Good guys do not kill journalists. Good guys don't kill the people investigating. Israel is not a good guy. My second point is the children. I have been very, very vocal about the fact that Israel has targeted children, has killed Palestinian children because it does not view Palestinians as people. And this is the Israeli government, not the Israeli people. The IDF, the politicians, the ministers, the prime minister, the overall government mindset does not see Palestinians as people. There are many quotes, which I'll put up in a sec about that. And this is how these leaders of this nation feel about their neighbors that are just people from a different religion and from not even a different part of the world. They're from the same Levantian part of the world. That's right there. They treat them terribly. I've been very, very vocal about the fact that too many children have been killed by this and have been targeted by Israel. But since the ceasefire, you'd think things would change. That is not the case. Al Jazeera and UNICEF, which is the United Nations Child Fund, which is entirely founded in 1946 after the Holocaust to protect children around the world. It is protecting children from starvation, lack of education, abuse, and its focus is on the terrible parts of the world that struggle, that are poor, that are run by terrible regimes, or that are under a military dictatorship, like Gaza. So because of that, they have done a lot of work here, and they have concluded that every day since the signing of the ceasefire, in October 2025, at least one Palestinian child has been killed by either an airstrike, a drone strike, or a drone suicide. About 60 boys and 40 girls have been killed in this time, and that was a report from about a month ago. So since then, it has continued. The death of children is not negotiable. You could say what you want about Palestinians that may be adults. You could say maybe they're a part of Hamas, maybe they're terrorists, maybe they hate Jewish people, and you could say all those things, and that's okay. You can handle that on your own. But what you cannot deny is that the killing of children is absolutely sickening. The attack on children is absolutely sickening. A child is not a threat. A child is not someone who deserves to be put down or killed as part of a group or face group punishment. This is a disgusting act. Disgusting. And I've said it before, the numbers are well over 20,000 of the amount of children that have been killed by Israel in Gaza, which is only part of Palestine, since October 2023. And since then, there have been hundreds killed since this alleged ceasefire. My third point is, of course, what's happening right now in Iran. Despite the fact that Israel claims it wants peace, despite the fact that Trump negotiated a very fragile peace ceasefire between Iran and Israel and touted around the whole world that he deserved the Nobel Peace Prize for negotiating that he deserved the Nobel Peace Prize for negotiating the peace between Israel and Iran. Him and Netanyahu and Israelis and major U.S. politicians attacked Iran. Now, I'm not going to sit here and defend Iran and defend the Ayatollah Khomeini. I'm not going to do that. But what happened was the side that's claiming they're all for peace, that's claiming they're all for this and that, Trump is the peace president, he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize, peace, peace, peace. It is the side that claims peace that is now standing directly in the way of peace. They have done an action, these attacks, these airstrikes that killed Khomeini, They have done this action that now is an act of war and has directly led to the death of Americans. Now, you could say whatever you want. You could say, read some American, I don't care about the Palestinians, I don't care about the Palestinian kids, I don't care about the war in Israel, I don't care about Gaza, I don't care about any of that. You could say whatever you want. But if you are American, and you can hear me say this, that this action, the attacks on Iran, have already gotten Americans killed. Because of this action, there's already Americans dead. Iran has already attacked military bases in parts of the Middle East. It has killed Americans. Americans are dead in one day because of this. One day, American lives. So you can say whatever you want about the rest of the issues. But if you as an American cannot hear this and think, why are we in this? Why are we getting more Americans killed? Americans, your neighbor that lives down the street, that is one of our strong, wonderful service members, is not coming home to his family because of Trump, because of Israel, because of our commitment to supporting this regime that has continued to do things around the world and in its area that are not okay. We are the number one person that's going to die in place of Israeli soldiers. It's going to be Americans. It's already happened. American bases are under attack. Americans have died. I will drop the sources here for the Americans that have died. It doesn't matter if it's 1, it doesn't matter if it's 10. It's Americans. I care about American lives internationally. And because of our actions in supporting Israel, they are now dying. So all that comes to me saying this. I do not support the government of Israel. I don't support the military, the IDF, the ministers, the politicians, the prime minister, who is an international war criminal and who should be arrested if he ever steps foot on U.S. soil. So with that, you need to accept this. No matter how you feel about any of this, no matter how you feel about anything, you need to take this last message and run home with it. If you are like me and you do not support Israel, you do not support the government of Israel, you will stand here and challenge them. And like I've said, when the history looks back in the 2020s, it will not be kind. This will not be a decade that the history books look back kindly on, because this was a terrible, terrible decade for the way the world treated the world. And you will see me very proudly on the side that I did not support what was happening, the genocide that was happening. I was not on that side and I was loud against it. If you're like me, you have to understand that being anti-Semitic is a play that supports Israel. If you hear any of what I say and this clicks as something anti-Semitic for you, you're an idiot, and you need to get that out of your head. There is no people group in the world that has suffered like Jewish people, that has gone through era after era of suffering in history and maintained their beliefs, maintained their culture, pushed on and persevered like Jewish people. There is very few in the world that could ever hold the claim that they do. They have been through the worst attack in human history in the 1940s when the Holocaust occurred. All of that is true. So by being anti-Semitic, one, not only are you just objectively an idiot, you're an idiot, but on top of that, it is exactly what the Israeli media team and the Israelis want you to do. This group that claims, oh, like, why do you hate Israel so much? We're this tiny little country on a map. Why can't we have this little space? Why don't you support us? Why don't this, that? When you start to be anti-Semitic, all of those points get pushed straight to the top. Straight to the top. They get pushed to the top of people's minds. They get pushed to the top of the media because it's very easy to repurpose a challenging of Israeli politics. The same way I criticize American politics. I love Americans. I'm American. Raised in America. We'll never leave America to live in another country. But because I hate the president or I hate the way things are being ran does not mean I'm un-American. The same way my criticism for this group that got here by abuse and has since killed children and has since made quotes that, again, talk about Palestinian people like they're not people and done all the things they've done and manipulated us as Americans into backing them over and over and now likely being pulled fully into a war with Iran. That is not me criticizing Jewish people, and it never will be. The same way that there are very traditional Hasidic Jews in New York who do not support the state of Israel. Not because they have anything against their people, not because they're bad people, but because the people running it have separated themselves from humanity. They have used their faith as a shield against criticism, and it is one that I will not stand for. Being anti-Semitic is sickening. It is one of the dumbest things you can do. It's as dumb as racism. It's as dumb as sexism. It's as dumb as any of the stupid things people believe where you look at someone for who they are and judge them. Being anti-Semitic is stupid, but not only is it stupid and lazy and immature and disgusting, it's playing exactly into what Israel wants you to do. It is the easiest thing in the world to criticize. It's the easiest thing in the world to say this and that are happening, to say, oh, I feel this way. But to do it the right way is another thing. And I will always say I do this in the right way. I am criticizing Israel, the nation, the government, I should say. I'm not criticizing the citizens. I'm not criticizing the culture, the food, the history of people that were there thousands and thousands of years ago and lived through the Bible and lived through what people consider the rise and fall of the Lord Savior Jesus Christ. All of those things are true. But challenging Jews is disgusting. Being anti-Semitic is disgusting. But what I challenge is Benjamin Netanyahu, the government, and the military that have continued to ask for U.S. support and have gotten U.S. financial support to commit a genocide, to kill children, and to continue to do so with the greatest backing they have ever seen. So that is all I have for you, and that is all I want you to hear, is that being anti-Semitic is absolutely sickening. And even if there was nothing happening in Israel right now, doing it would be stupid. But if you're someone who's as passionate as me, the thing you need to focus on is spreading a message that stops anti-Semitism. I just wanted to say that correctly. Making sure that you're spreading a message that all of that we're saying, all these challenges to the government, is nothing to do with Jewish people, their faith, their culture, because they are wonderful people. They are just like Americans. They're just like every person living around the world. They have helped build the world. They have suffered with the world. They have persevered through the world. The world is here today because of them just as much as they are here because of the world. So make sure when you are doing these arguments like me, and I will be vocal about this till the day I die, you are separating your view of a people group versus a nation. Because I will challenge this nation that has committed genocide and has done horrible things for decades every single day. But I will never dunk on this people group who has been here for thousands of years and continue to try and live their lives right alongside all of us in every single country in the world. So that's all I have for you, and thank you.